Hi-lo, and welcome back to Beauty and Comfort. If you're new here, my name's Keisha. Welcome, I'm glad to meet you. If you're a repeat visitor, welcome back. We're so glad to have you. Today is gonna be a unique soaping video because I'm doing 2 soaps with 1 batter. This is double the amount of my usual. Normally I soap in these. This holds about 4 pounds of soap. I think I've gone up to 5 pounds in this container. This is about 8 pounds of soap. So I'm gonna bring everything together and then split them off in here by weight, and then we'll set this one to the side. Now that we have that out of the way, wondering why we're using this large vessel. What are we doing today? We're gonna be doing a Fireplace soap. This is the next soap in the January collection. We'll be using Fireplace fragrance from Nature's Garden. And I kind of want this to look like fire. So I have my colors here. Let me move this out the way so we can talk about colors. So when I think of fire going roaring in the fireplace, I think about the wood. So I made this brown color. Then I'm gonna darken this with some activated charcoal, which I already have stashed to the side for us, just to darken this up so it can look like the wood has started to burn. The next one here is gray. This is gonna be way smaller than the rest of this. I kind of wanna have that ash on top of the black. And then I picked some fire colors. We have yellow, orange, and red. These are all custom blends I created, mixing different colors to get where I was trying to go. So this isn't a true red. I just took some brazen hussy and spicy tomato to give me a deeper red, but I also wanted to add that neon red in here because I want this to be bright. Same thing in here. I took a yellow mica and a neon yellow mica, and then I took an orange mica and a neon orange mica. So these will be bright and vibrant colors. So those are all the colorants pushed to the side. Ugh. So these are my oils. Just like in the last video, I am soaping at a warmer temperature because it is winter. It's a little chilly outside. I don't want this to firm up on me too quickly. My oils and my lye are in the 80-90 range because normally I soap in the 70 to 80 range. So the first thing I want to do is add the additive that will be in both soaps that I'll be making with this batch, which will be the kaolin clay. I normally do 1 of these for the 4-pound batch, but I'm going to do 2 of these because this is 8 pounds. I've been bouncing back and forth between doing buttermilk in just 1 recipe or doing buttermilk in both recipes. I've actually decided to put the buttermilk in just 1. So what I'm gonna do is mix the kaolin clay in here. So what I'm going to do is mix the kaolin clay in here and then add the buttermilk to this batch and then add the heavy cream to the next soap, which I have stashed to the side. Alrighty, now that we have the baggage off the counter, let's submerge our dry ingredients and give it a shaky shake. And since this is a lot more than normal, I'm going to blend this on high for about a minute. Let's start blending. All right, that looks all incorporated. Let's move my spoon, grab my handy dandy spatula, scrape down the sides, sort of pop some of those bubbles, put it on my landing pad. So in my lye solution, I already have my tussle silk fibers as well as my sodium lactate, so that is ready to go. I'm gonna burp the baby, tilt them to the side. I'm gonna pulse it as I add it, and then we'll go to blending. Every last drop. Boop, boop, boop. Now we're gonna swirl it. We're gonna go to light trace. Let's start blending. All right, so this is an emulsion. We're not even at light trace, which is exactly where I want to be. And if you're curious, this is 4 quarts of batter. There's no difference between making a small batch and making a big batch of soap. It's just making sure your measurements are right and blending it a little bit longer if necessary to get to emulsion. So I'm gonna take this cap here, stick him there, slide him over. I'm gonna grab my scale and my bowl that we'll be working in today. So this is roughly 8 pounds of soap. So I'm gonna divide these into 4 pounds each. Ugh, pick it up. I'm gonna put the top back on this one. We're gonna fly through this so we can get to this one. So let's get this out of our way. So now that we have our batter for this loaf, slide them to the side. We're going to start with our smidgen of gray to play as the ash in this soap. Just enough to cover the layer over the wood is what I'm going for with this one. So that should be good. The brown will go in the main vessel. So let's pour off into these. So those are done. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my brown that I've already dispersed. Get that in there. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm going to measure off my fragrance. So we're gonna measure out the appropriate amount of fragrance for this batch. So I'm gonna start over here and add just a little bit in here. A little in there. I'm just sort of eyeballing it, you know, no biggie piggy. Scrape out every last drop. You'd be surprised how much stuff stays inside these vessels, but he empty now. So far, just for starting with this fragrance, I'm not noticing any like immediate color changes, no rising. It's still fluid right now. And everything is absorbing and the color is taking really, really well. Now to move on to the red. Next up will be Mr. Gray here. I'm leaning towards adding some white because this is a little bit darker than I want it to be. That's why we always stash some TD to the side. Just a smidge, you know, a little droppy drop here and there, just to get me to a more ashy gray color. Let's add a touch more white. This is still a little bit more gray than I want it to be. There we go. That looks better. And we are done with the immersion blender. So we're going to put this in some water and clean him off. And we'll be back with the mold. The blender's out of the way. The mold has taken its place. I have gray on my counter. We're going to pretend it's not there. So I want this layer to go ahead and set up for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and start pouring my brown. Let's start partying. He's in there. Now I'm gonna move this to the side, bring this back in. I'm gonna grab my activated charcoal. I swear I put these tops on tighter than I anticipate. There we go. Your girl ain't got that much muscle. So we're just gonna add, let's start with a little and add if more if we need to. Let's get that in there. Stir, stir, stir it. I'm kind of liking it like this. I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of this in just like this. Because I want this to be on the top more than the bottom, I'm going to slowly, oh so slowly, pour this in to the top layer. This is very fluid, guys, very fluid still. I'm gonna pour this way now. Using the spatula to sort of break the fall and make this go a little smoother. So this black is right here on top. So now to scrape him clean, because we are done with this vessel. I mean, I couldn't put anything else in here without it turning black on me, so. We're gonna let that sit and settle for a minute, just a little bit. I'm gonna clean him up, and then once this is firm enough to carry the gray layer, then we'll move on to the next color. Alrighty, this has been setting up for a few minutes, about 3 or 4 minutes, not too long. I still gotta put these other colors on, so I can't let this sit forever. I also wanna give this a sort of a soot line. So I'm gonna take my little sprinkle dinkle dinkle here and some activated charcoal. So I'm gonna start with just a little bit first. I'm gonna tamp a charcoal line in here. Okay, that's good enough for now. Now I'm going to take my spatula, give the gray a little bit of a swirly, because he has titanium dioxide, so he is firming up a little bit on me. That's okay. I'm gonna try to get as much coverage with the gray as I can. I'm not gonna be too distraught if I don't, because I'm gonna put some more charcoal on here. There we go. We're getting messy. So I'm gonna move my gray over, grab my charcoal again, and I'm not gonna use as much as I did the first time. I'm just gonna sort of like dust this on. A little light. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing with this mess I'm making. But it's a mess that'll be beautiful. So there's a little bit more. Tamp it. You can tell I've had a fireplace once or twice in life, can't you? Fireplaces are like my favorite thing ever. They're kind of hard to come by in warmer climates like where I live. Like Texas is not known for having, you know, fireplaces in every house because it doesn't get that cold, but I still like the vibe and the aesthetic. I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna clean this up. Be right back. Alrighty, so we've cleaned up as much as I could. I'm gonna lower you guys in so you can see better. Okay, I hope that's better. So for my fire, I'm gonna actually do yellow, orange, and red. And with the red and the orange, I'm probably gonna end up swirling that together here and there to kind of get me where I wanna be. But for the most part, this is the color scheme. I'm sort of done with this. Let's get rid of him. All right, so let's start partying. So this is about medium trace now. And I'm just gonna pour this . You can obviously do less yellow altogether, but I'm kind of wanting to mound this up in the center. Now I'm going to take the orange and start pouring it along the sides. Sort of like a well in the middle for the yellow. So I'm going to add some more. So can you see where we're going? Just gonna put it in the middle. The handy dandy chopstick will do the job. So I'm gonna sort of like swirl this top section a little bit. Just a little bit. Kind of getting rid of that well in the middle. And I'm gonna stick the orange going down the middle. Putting the red on the side. I think if I turn it like this, it'll make it easier for me all the way around. So let's try that. Let's grab a little bit of yellow, just a little bit. When you look at a roaring fire, the colors sort of blend as they get to the top. It's not just one thing. So I'm gonna press it down like this to kind of give that red and orange and yellow a little bit of action. I'm going to tamp this down and finish it with the red. Looking good. Have you ever like been outside and seen your fireplace and seen like little sparks of ember coming up? They're kind of like a red, orangey, yellow color. They're not one specific color over the other, but it's really neat. That's kind of what I'm going for here. And now I could use a toothpick, but I'm just gonna use this because I have it. Just gonna sort of like swirl that. Nonchalant like. And that's it. Raging Fireplace soap, done. And we're gonna put him to bed and come back and check him out tomorrow in about 18 to 24 hours. So until then, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Last minute moment. I remembered I just bought this Lemony Felony fairy duster. So I'm gonna just spritz this with a little bit of glitter. Just a little bit to kind of give it that spark vibe. Not a lot, just a little bit. See? Not too much, just a little bit. Little sparkle. Now we're gonna lock that glitter in with the good old alcohol. And now we're gonna put this to bed and be back in 18 to 24 hours for the cut. See you in the morning.
Alrighty guys, we are back and I am presenting this. This is insane. I've seen many soap designs, but this right here, this is amazing. This is beautiful. And it smells fantastic. It smells just like a fireplace. Fireside, sitting next to a campfire. Any kind of description you want to put it, but this is beautiful. Let's cut this baby. Alright, we got it all lined up. Let's get to cutting. That don't look lined up. So we're gonna scooch it over just a little bit more. Okay, that's lined up. So let's get cutting. Oh yeah, baby. We're gonna have to scoot this over a little bit. It's about to get real. Take out the end pieces. That is beautiful. That is very beautiful. I wasn't here when Keisha did this design, but I'm kind of upset that I wasn't, because this, I would like to see her put this together. This design right here, it looks like a little crater for your fire pit, and then you can see the flame swirl with the soot and ash. This is beautiful. And if you guys want to get your hands on this bar, they will be available January the 4th, 2021. That's on a Monday on our website, beautyandcomfort.com. If you turn it this way a little bit, that kind of look like a phoenix to me, man. This is crazy. Look at that sparkle. It looked like little embers dancing on top of a flame. And I would like to thank you guys for watching this video. We do videos like this all the time, so if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos like this, don't forget to leave a like, drop some comments down below, tell us what you think. And if you are not part of the Beauty and Comfort family, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all in the next video. Bye!